Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Midwest Contractor, Episode 7. Great to be back with all of you. How's everybody doing today? We're in January, and, we've got some things to take care of today. Look, we got oats, and they're ready. And on top of that, I'll get through these bushes. I believe their price is at its peak. So we're going to harvest some oats today and sell them when the price is right. And in addition to that, we've got a cultivating contract. So let's get over here to the shop, put on another pot of coffee, and get busy. It's going to be a long day. I think what we'll do is go ahead and jump in the International and get it over to field 12. Yeah, we left it hooked up from yesterday. Everything's all set and ready to go. I don't know why Super Strength is on. Yeah, we're all set. How's fuel looking? We should be all right. About 3/4 of a tank. Not bad for January morning, right? 72 degrees in north central Ohio. Yeah, right. The beauty of no seasons. Okay, I didn't even bother. Oh, you know what? I didn't see if... So field 12 is not in our Autodrive network. Here, bear with me. Whoa, don't do that. Where is field 12 here? Relative to... Oh, that's right. Field 11093. That's right. Okay. Well, that's where we're going. All the way at the bottom. And off you go. While that's doing that, we're going to go on in here. Get this building opened up. Get out our New Holland harvester. Let that warm up for a second, and we'll go get our grain truck heated up. Oh, wrong truck. That's what happens when you get them parked too close together. Alrighty. How are we doing for... did it again. How are we doing for fuel here? We're fine. This thing doesn't work too hard. Alright. Yeah, we're up to 190 degrees. That's perfect. Yeah, looking good on fuel for this thing too. And if we need some, it's just right there. I think we'll... let's go back here and tackle this big field first. And go. Not too bad, an hour and a half. Not an unreasonable amount of time. I was thinking again about that field over there. And as I mentioned countless times, I have an inclination to turn that into a yard expansion. But as I sit here and say that, I realize that we don't really have an immediate need for a yard expansion, so there's really no sense in leaving that ground just lay there. So we're definitely going to put something in it, which then begs the next question, what? And with what? Because I'm going to tell you folks something. Challenging as it was to plant that little field over there with the small planter that we, or small seeder that we have, this one here was absolutely agonizing. It took forever. So yeah, that seeder's not sticking around. We're going to go ahead and ditch it and find something a little more palatable. Again, I don't necessarily feel like I have a desire to want to do sewing contracts because they are so time consuming. But I do think with $247, almost $248,000 in the bank, and knowing we're going to make more today, I think we can find a seeder out there someplace that we can afford. All right, let's get our before we do that, let's go ahead and let's get this bad boy out to the field so he can start unloading the combine as needed. Let's see, he's not even about halfway around, and we're already at 54%. So yeah, we're going to need to be unloaded probably before we get around fully, which is good. Which is a good thing. It's a good problem to have. All right, here we go. Yeah, I've noticed the first several episodes that I've done here, as I take the time to explain things, I become more and more long-winded, and these I'm struggling to keep these episodes under an hour, and I realize most people don't really want to watch that long. I get it. Candidly, I'm one of those people too. I typically, usually that 30 to 40 minutes is the sweet spot for me when I'm watching content. And go. Oh, I did want to check the prices of the oats to see if it was at its peak and where to sell. Wouldn't that be something? Oh, there again. Okay, oats. So we're at, oh, actually, shoot, it was higher. It was higher yesterday. 1995 at Horizon Co-op. Wow, how about that? Yeah, I'll be darned. We would have been better off to harvest last month. Well, it's still $2,000 per thousand, so, and I think we're going to do pretty well. I see that our harvester needs to be unloaded. Where's our truck? What's he doing? Is he doing? He's just sitting over there. Well, that's just nice of him. Okay. Now, I think what's happening here, folks, is I noticed the Courseplay unload feature doesn't always work well if the harvester is on its initial headland route and the truck or the trailer has to unload it off the field. If the pipe's off the field, so oh shoot, I'm gonna have to swing around here, and we're gonna drive through the crops. Oh well. And I know I could just set the cruise control at about 6 or 7 miles an hour and stay right with it. But hey, why do that when I can struggle, right? Okay, let's... that's why. You see, it's remembering it was on this previous field, and it was close enough sitting off the field that it still thought it was there. I wondered if something wasn't a little wonky with that. There we go. That looks better. Now we should be okay. All right, check in on our disk one more time. Looks like he made it around the only potential obstacles on the, well, I don't know about those telephone poles down there. Make sure he doesn't get hung up on those. Well, I'm toying with another purchase, folks. I'm toying with buying that field that sits right behind our fields. As of yesterday, it had a load of soybeans in it, and I was contemplating about purchasing that field, harvesting those soybeans and selling them, and that's a pretty good sized field. Of course, I realize if I do that, then I'm shifting the nature of our series here from contracting to be more farming centric, but I don't know that that's necessarily a problem. As I've stated multiple times, I don't really have a goal for this series. I think really the goal was more for me to become a little more familiar with this whole process of creating content, trying to figure out what I am good at, what people like, what I can offer that is new, different, and unique. So, who knows? Yeah, we might do that. I don't know. But we're definitely buying a seeder. Without a doubt, we're buying a seeder. Speaking of which, let's take a look and see if there's anything in the used equipment sales today that might, well, 37. Harvester that's 37,000 and a header that's 48,000. Yeah. That class is still there, that Ariane. Another one of these Ford 4000s. Wow. It's the second one of those that's been in there. I'm really interested to find out what ends up in this equipment sale. If there's got to be some, it's not just random. I mean, there's got to be an algorithm, and I notice we're getting a lot of small equipment, and I'm wondering if it's because, well, that's what we're using is small equipment. And, you know, does the AI sense that that's our preference, so it's trying to put equipment out there that kind of is consistent with what we're already using. And I say that only because I noticed on other playthroughs when I use larger equipment that it will instinctively throw larger equipment out there, and I rarely get smaller or mid-sized stuff. So it's kind of interesting. Don't really know. All I can do is guess. I have no idea how that works, but it is curious. See, these are the questions that the answers to which kind of keep me up at night. I have far too much free time. All right, we're motoring right along here. Doing well here. About half full. So I'll tell you what, folks, I'm going to let this run, and I will be back with you when there is something of significance to share. Okay, I definitely got to share this. Huh. That's a new one. Can't say as though I've ever seen that before. Welcome back in, everybody. We're headed to the Horizon Co-op here to sell our first load of oats, and we'll see what's in store for us for the day. I hope everybody enjoyed that nice little blooper that I shared earlier. In the spirit of full disclosure, it has been several days since I recorded the first segment, and I went back into the game to continue recording, and that's how I found our international laying there, tipped over, and with the plow buried in the dirt. Don't quite understand that one. I have no idea how that happened, and I can't say as though I have ever experienced that before. Kind of takes me back to the Battlefield 5 days when you would start seeing random things like tanks flying through the air. As I said, this is our first load. I have no idea how many loads of oats we're going to get off these two fields. I'm hoping a few, but this will give us an idea or an indication of where we're headed. I'm really struggling with a potential decision here relative to this playthrough, a decision I think that's impactful enough that depending on what I do, it's going to potentially dictate kind of the course or the path that we take with regard to where the series goes. So I'm not going to reveal quite yet what I'm contemplating. I think a lot of it's going to depend upon how much money we can make today with our oats and our straw. Wow, $50,000, fabulous. Yeah, it's going to make my potential decision even a little more agonizing. Well, more on that later. Like I said, let's get through today, and I will have a decision relative to my conundrum. Oh, see how we're doing here. Well, at least we're upright. Man, that was weird. Okay, how much time's he got left? Oh, not much at all. Great. All right. Yeah, 86%. And he's going to be full and stop by the time the truck gets back, but that's okay. All right, wanted to pop back in for a quick update. I will be back with you when we have, or when we're about ready to finish up harvesting these oats. Okay, we've just finished up our cultivating contract. So that's done. We're going to get the International and the disc headed back to the shop. Do that right now. And go. In addition to that, we are just about ready to finish up harvesting the oats on our first oat field. And we have 3/4 of a truckload of oats. So we're definitely going to get one more full truck and a good bit of a third, which I think is going to go ahead and help me make my decision. And as I mentioned, I do want to get this straw baled up today and get it sold. I did check, and it is at its peak price, so it's definitely time to get that done. All right. So I think while this thing is getting ready to unload, let's go out here and collect that contract. 14,000. And boom. Which throws the bank account up over $300,000. I know that seems like a lot. Some of you are probably wondering, when are you going to spend some of this money? Well, we're fixing to do that here real quick. Yeah, 300,000 does seem like a lot. On most maps, frankly, it is a lot, but not so much on these 4X maps when you start to consider the size of the equipment that you have to use to get things done and to get things done right. So I've been intentionally kind of sitting on our money and not upgrading equipment, number one, because, well, we're getting by. But number two, when I do upgrade things, I don't want to just get something a little better than what we have. My hope or my preference is to go ahead and go all the way to the top and get the equipment that we truly need to work on these big fields on this map. And let's get this thing set up to work on this field. All right. Let's go ahead and put our disc up. And I think, as I said, we're going to go ahead and connect to the baler and get started baling all this straw that's laying around. We've got a good bit of it. The other thing we'll do is get these duals off of here. We don't really need all that turf traction. Back into our and customize. You know, the other thing I'm going to do is get rid of this. Okay, wheel setup. Single row crops. Customize. Yes. Good. Get in here and get hooked up to the baler. Get lined up and start making straw. Have at it. Oh, you know what? Let's stop real quick. I want to make sure the bale counter, it's not. Okay. Reset the bale counter just so, for kicks and giggles, so that we can see roughly how many bales we get. So you'll notice on the back of the truck there, I can raise and lower that hitch, but I think that's contributing to some of the challenges we're having with this thing. All right, let's get this. Oh. All right, let's get you back on the trailer. All right. Yeah, we're full. Okay, let's get this thing headed to the Horizon Co-op, get it unloaded, and put another 50,000 in the bank. How's our bale machine doing? Oh, not too bad. We've made a few. May as well follow the tractor around and pick up what's there. Clear off these headlands so that when it starts its up-down rows, it won't be climbing on top of bales at the end of the rows. And interestingly enough, I looked at the bale prices and or the straw prices, and they're exactly the same price at both the animal dealer and the sawmill. So we're gonna sell at the sawmill because, well, it's closer. That's interesting. I wonder why one has the net wrap on it and that first bailout did not. Both the same size, or they wouldn't have loaded. Okay, here we are back at the Horizon Co-op. Unload our second truck load of oats. And watch that money just run on up. And just that quick, we are at $360,000. I'll tell you what, folks, I will be back with you as soon as we're ready to wrap up the oat harvest and make our final sale of oats for the day. All right, we've got our first full load of bales that we're going to go sell. But before we do that, if you look at the lower right-hand part of the lower right-hand corner of the screen, yeah, better get some gas, huh? So let's pull up here to the all-purpose tank. And we'll get filled up. We don't need to be running out. Interestingly enough, I've been playing Farming Simulator since I believe it was Farming Simulator 16, I think the mobile version, and then I played 17, and then of course 19, and all that time, I think I've only ran out of gas in a vehicle one time. It's hard to believe. Usually I'm pretty conscious of where the fuel levels are. I believe that one time that I ran out, it was such a irritating and just agonizingly inconvenient experience. I thought, no, I can't ever let that happen again. All right, this is headed over to the sawmill if it doesn't tip over first. See, our truck's about half full, and we are, about 3/4 of the way done with this field. It looks like we're not going to get quite a full truckload out of it, so we'll have 2 full truckloads and change, which, that's all right. Not too bad. It's still going to be a pretty lucrative day for us. We've already sold just somewhere south of $100,000 in oats, and we've just started baling the straw, so hopefully we'll get several loads of straw and make a few bucks on that. As I said, we're not going to get a full truckload off of what's left in this field, but we're going to be over 80%, maybe 85% by the time we're done. Not too bad. All right, let's check on our bale delivery. And here we have arrived at the sawmill. All right. Let's see what we got. Wow. And I've got one there that doesn't seem to want to sell. What's up with that? There it goes. Oh, so about 10,000. All right. Not too bad. Great. And we're done. Let's go ahead. I'll just jump out onto the road right here by our trailer. Last little bit of oats. We've got 20,000 liters. Not too bad. Oh, I see our truck is at the Horizon Co-op. Whoa, hello. What did I not do here? Operating position. There we go. 400,000. Wow. 39,000. So just about $140,000 in sold grain today, just off those 2 fields. Well, that makes my decision for me. I know you're still waiting to know what that decision is. Well, not quite yet. Interestingly enough, I needed $140,000 to do what we're going to do here. But let's finish our chores for the day, and then I will share with you what it is that we're going to do. Okay, get you back to the shop, get you put up. Okay, it's going to be a while with the bales, folks, so I will be back with you when we're ready to wrap up today's activities. Well, we're wrapping up this baling. A couple more strips to go, and we're going to collect the last of the bales from the field. While while I was away, I did deliver 2 more loads of bales, so that brings our grand total for bales up to about 30,000 plus what's on the trailer and yet to be produced. Looks like we're going to get about 3 more total. All right, go ahead and gather these up while that baler finishes. Got my truck dirty again. Yeah, looks like we're going to probably end up with 1 more bale, and then that will be it. All right, I'm going to get this truck and trailer headed toward the sawmill. Constantly oversteering. Okay. Park our Dirty International. You can see there that I had the Ford out and the plows attached to it. I decided that to go ahead and plow that field over there, that our soybean field, soybean stubble. When I looked at it, it needs several things. It obviously needs fertilizer. It needs lime, and it said it needed plowing. So I thought, well, while we're waiting on this baler to finish, we'll just go ahead and finish that up. Okay, let's sell the last of these bales. Okay, finally, oh my word. Let's get you headed back. Okay, so what's all the fuss about? Well, I'm going to show you. Let's jump in our RTV here and take a short ride. I find this field back here incredibly appealing. This one that's right up next to our property. It's a large field. It currently has soybeans in it, and it is currently ready to harvest. So when I got to thinking about this, I thought to myself, wow, that would be a great addition to our endeavor here. So let's get out so that we can get some altitude. As you can see, really nice looking field, pretty good size, and right next to our property, full of soybeans. And if you recall, in an earlier episode, we actually fertilized those soybeans. So as torn as I was, I thought, you know what? I would really like to have that field 46. And when I think about what we did today, we had a pretty good day in total. We made $193,000 today. 14,000 from contract income, 138 from our oats, and 40 from sold bales. That's a lot of money. And when I looked at this field number 46, property number 160, look at this. We can have it for $142,000 with a 35% discount for all of the contracts we've done for Michael Hammond. So you know what, folks? Yeah, we're going to expand the operation. Boom. Absolutely. So we are proud owners of a field of soybeans. So there you go. And we've still got almost $300,000 in the bank. I think I can honestly say I'm in a position where I can have my cake and eat it too. We've been able to expand the operation by adding a field. And we've still got plenty of money there that if we want to go ahead and upgrade some of our equipment, purchase some larger equipment, well, we can do that too. So there you have it, folks. Once again, I want to thank you for joining me today. If you liked what you saw, well, I'd appreciate knowing about it. Give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like what you saw, well, I wouldn't mind knowing that either. Please leave me a comment. Let me know how I can improve. And if you have been watching but haven't considered subscribing, I would like to encourage you to do so. Have a great day, everybody.